Hey, how's everybody doing? It is Granna. Hope everybody's having a great day. So you guys already know it's kitchen talk time. So let's go ahead and hop on into this conversation. Okay. I don't know how many people have seen this story, but I was actually on social media and this story popped up in mine while I was on there. And it's this young lady had went to Dubai and she got stuck over there for like 3 months. Her name is Terria Allen, but she goes by the Sassy trucker because she's an 18-wheeler truck driver. Has thousands and thousands of followers that follows her on her, I guess her YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media that she uses, outlet that she uses. She has all these people that's following her. So a lot of the stuff that she was going on with her was recorded. You know, she was recording it. So she went to Dubai on vacation and she had gotten a rental-car, and allegedly she was in an accident, or she was in an accident. And when she had the accident, the car was impounded or something like that. And after that, she went back to the rental place. I guess they took the rental car back to the rental place. So she went back to the rental place because all her passport and her information was in the rental car. So she went back there to retrieve her personal stuff, her personal property. And when she got there, allegedly, she got into it with the sales guy at the rental desk, one of the salesperson. So it didn't really say what they got into it about or what that conversation was about. But let's see, make sure I got this name. Okay, the conversation and what they got into it about, when she got there, he told her that she had to pay a fee before she could get any of her personal property out of the car. So I guess it's an additional fee. I don't know if it was because of the accident and they was having her to pay for that. Not sure. Excuse me, y'all. But he told her she had to pay a fee before she can get her personal belongings. So at that point, okay, let me back up a little bit, because now that I'm reading over this, so let me just back up a little bit. The car was impounded by the agent following the accident, and it had her passport, credit cards, and all that stuff in the car. She went to retrieve it, and that's when she was told by the agent that she needed to go to the rental car agent to get this. So I guess that, you know, she was talking to the impound people, the agents and all that, and they told her she needed to go over to the rental place, the rental car place. From there, that's when things kind of got out of hand. She get there to get her property and gets into a dispute with the salesperson, and he's telling her about this fee that she has to pay. And I guess she wasn't trying to hear that. She didn't want to pay those fees. And in that it said that she was screaming and slandering the sales associate and defaming him, and you know, I guess just kind of all over the place because she wanted to get her personal stuff. And when I was reading this, I was like, okay, you know, all this is allegedly, you know, when it's on social media and stuff. So her and the guy gets into it, and they go outside, and he tells her that he's calling the police on her for shouting at him, and he shouted at her apparently, and she said, okay, call the police. So I guess when the police got there, you know, they arrested her. You know, she got arrested for slandering and defaming of this employee. And I was just thinking about the whole situation. I mean, she was over there for like 3 months in a hotel trying to get out. And I think her mom did end up going over there with her. And I think the congresswoman went over there, to try to help to get her out and get her back. And I know at the final thing of it, the mom ended up paying like almost $1,400 to the rent-a-car. And I don't know if that was for the damage or what happened, because they never said, if anyone else was involved in the accident or what happened with the accident. At least I didn't see anything. So, I guess that's just what it cost for her to get her all her stuff out of the car, that her mom ended up paying this money. But I was thinking when I was reading all this that, sometimes us as as people, we go to these other foreign countries and not really understand the rules. Now, I'm not saying, don't even say it. I am not saying she didn't have a right to go in inquiry about her belongings and to get her belongings back and all that, because especially if you're in an accident and something go down, you're not thinking about, let me get my stuff, let me get everything out of this car. You're just not thinking there's too much stuff going on. So I'm not saying she didn't have the right to go and to inquire about it. She was told that she had to go to the rent-a-car to get her personal property back, and she gets there and, all this start happening and stuff. So I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, a lot of times when we go to these other countries, we don't really understand their policies, their procedures, their cultural, how you talk to people, how you do any type of communication with their people, and anything, any of their laws or rules. We just don't understand it, and sometimes we have that mindset because we have so much freedom over here to speak to people any way we want to, whether it's good or bad. When we get upset, and snapping and going off and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know this young lady, so I don't know what her character is either. I'm not trying to criticize her character or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, when we go to these places, we don't know how their culture is. How we should, carry ourselves or be around or whatever, so I'm not saying that, but sometimes we as Americans can be very outspoken and definitely, in the heat of things, say things that we should not say. And we do that. I mean, that can happen even here in the United States. I've seen it myself personally. I have been attacked verbally for nothing, for something that was very small when I was working in retail, and people just feel like they can say whatever the hell and talk to you any kind of way, and there's no consequences behind it. Like I say, I'm glad this young lady is out of Dubai. I'm glad that they was able to resolve that situation. Yes, she was over there extra few months or whatever, but she was in a hotel. Like I said, she wasn't arrested or anything like that. She was in a hotel. So I'm glad that her family was able to get her back to the United States. I'm just saying, and this is just my opinion, when we go to these other countries, we need to do a little research, on different things or different incidents or situations that may pop up. We need to research that, because some of these countries with this same situation that happened to her would have ended up arresting that American person, and they could be in jail. It seems like she was in a very comfortable environment during this whole situation. But some of these countries, you go over there disrespecting them or screaming at them or slandering them or defaming them or whatever you want to call it, you can get arrested and go to jail and spend months and months and months in jail just from the way you talk to them. So you really need to be on your best behavior when you don't spend all this money to go to these places for vacation and have a great time, and you never know what's going to pop off or what's going to happen. But if you get yourself caught up in a situation like her situation, you really need to just approach it with kindness. Just really approach it with kindness and make sure that you're not making that situation way bigger than it have to be. And I understand when you're in an accident or anything, I understand emotions. I understand, you just, it's just the emotional adrenaline running in you, and there's so much going on in your mind, and you just want to get your stuff, you just want to get out of there. And sometimes we as Americans, we get so caught up in what's going on in our heads and what's going on in our minds. We don't want to listen. We don't want to hear nothing. We just want what we want so we can get out the situation. And that's not always the case in these other countries. That's just all I'm saying. It's just not the case. And I mean, like I said, I don't even know if this young lady, when she went to the rental place, or even when she was in this accident, if she was actually with someone else, if someone else was with her. I don't remember reading anything about that. So she could have been afraid. She could have been very nervous and even trying to handle this situation. So with her being very emotional, then, that could have just kind of taken over, and we don't know what he said to her. Now, they did say he said some things to her, but it didn't say exactly what he said. And what can we, it's nothing we can do but speculate on what he might have said to her. But they're not even looking at him. This is his country, and he's at his job. So they're not even focusing on what he might have said to her. They're only looking at what she said to him and how she talked to him. So, and that's usually how it is when you're in another country. It's gonna all fall back on the foreigner, whoever the foreigner is in that country, whoever they are. It's gonna fall back on them. They're not gonna be looking at what that person in that country might have did or said. It's gonna fall back on the visitors, on the people that's visited, and whatever's going on. So you have to be really, really, really careful, especially young ladies out here that travels and go on their girls trip and all that. Just really be careful, how you carry yourself, how you speak to other people. And, if something go down, you get caught up in a situation, I don't care, you can be out eating and you don't like your food and you want to express that to your server that brings it to you. Just really think about your words before you say it, because a lot of people get, in these other countries, they get offended because they already feel like American people are so outspoken, or so, so they may get offended, very quickly, more quickly than if you're in the United States speaking to someone like that, because that's not their custom and they're not used to that. So, young ladies, if you're going on girls trips and you're going out of the country, just be extra careful, because this whole situation with this young lady, Terria Allen, it could have definitely still be going on or still be in the process. They could have actually arrested her and she could be in jail behind this word action, behind this back and forth word action. It could have definitely went a whole lot worse than it did. Not saying it wasn't bad, and she was definitely not, she was inconvenient, and she, her mom had to come up with this extra money. She had to get the Congress woman over the, to try to speak on her behalf to help get her out and over there. So but it could have been a whole lot worse. So when you're going on vacation the rest of this year, if you're taking vacations with your girlfriends, you're going to be going out of countries, different places, stay as a group. Incidents happen, stay as calm as possible. Make sure you have someone around you that can have that support there. If you never go off by yourself or anything. And these are things that I tell my daughter when she travels and stuff. Pay close attention to your surrounding. Some things that happens are out of your control. There's nothing you can do about it. But if something happened, if you get in a car accident or something like this go down, make sure you understand it. Try to get the fully understanding of what they're saying to you and what's going on before you react. And I know you might be emotional, but just try to, keep yourself as calm It's possible because, like I said, with this incident, and we see all the time how American goes to these other countries and they end up in jail. So thank God this young lady made it back home and everything. All right, that's just my opinion about the sassy trucker and her incident over in Dubai. Hey, as you guys are out and about, just be kind to people, stay hydrated, and just live your best life. Granna's gonna check you out next time around.